got the backup on Zoom. So yeah, we'll do like I said. Oh, Christine, do a mic check real quick, please.
Checking the mic. Is everything good?
Sounds good.
It's a little low
On your end.
actual. Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead and talk again, Christine.
All right, gonna talk again.
Okay.
Everything,
Yeah.
okay.
I think you're good. All right. Yeah, it's like Zoom will do some like auto leveling type stuff. But what we are recording directly from the mics into OBS, I gotta try, and I still haven't gotten it because obviously every time I'm on here, it sounds different when it's two of us versus when it's just me. And I'm not trying to run two lines. It's weird.
It hates you.
It does hate me. But yeah, this show we're gonna end up being like 6 days behind because of the day switch or whatever happened. But that's cool. Brian's never seen Weathering with You.
Shame on you.
So we'll watch that for the next week, and then should be on as long as they don't have any delays with Mieruko-Chan. And with that, guys, welcome to the Anime-Versal Reviews podcast, where we get to talk about anime here on LRM Online's Genreverse podcast network, wherever you get your podcast from, and also on LRM's YouTube channel. Brought to you by the good folks over at Grow Generation. Please check them out in the link below, and more on them later. LRMonline.com, Genreverse.com. Both go to the same place right now, but we're working on the new podcast distribution that I'm told, waiting on like an old contract, new contract stuff to flip or whatever. Please do take a moment. All the social media information's down below, and yeah, guys, well, welcome back. How's everyone doing? Christine?
I'm hungry.
That's about normal for Christine, I guess. How you doing over there, Brian?
I'm good.
Good to hear. You know what? I just realized for some reason my overlay is not on screen, so I'll have to add that in post. But anyways, guys, as you heard at the beginning, there's been we missed kind of like a switch or whatever. I thought Mieruko-Chan was hitting on Thursdays those first few weeks, and then boom, we realized we missed episode 8, thinking we were waiting on episode 8, but it was really waiting on episode 9. And so we got 8 and 9 to talk about today. Please check out the previous episode link down below, where we covered episodes 1 through 7. Got to talk a lot more about theming, and since we are going to be talking about individual episodes, you're not going to get as in depth as that first chunk and then the end of this review series. But episode 8 was a completely different type of shocking. It was a very cool episode with some really intense stuff going on. Christine, tell us a little bit about what you thought about episode 8.
It was really good. The first time I don't.
Kiana.
The first, like when I was first seeing the pregnant teacher and that thing swirling around her, I'm like, is her baby gonna be possessed? You know, like it didn't click. And then like she starts talking about how it's like this is her second time trying for a child, and it's like, oh, okay. And then that moment where, like the little baby ghost holds onto her hand, it was really sweet. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I dug
Very
that.
touching.
I like the kind of first half of the episode, after shopping with the brother, or maybe that was the second half, but the bit on the train, like that was intense.
Yes, it was.
There's again, obviously a little bit of stuff going on with brother and sister relationships here. They've grown apart. She's a little off because of the things that she sees. Dad's died and things like that. So it was kind of cool to see them out on just a day trip together.
Yeah, let me go ahead and ask.
Oh,
Do you go shopping with Stacy, Brian?
It's been a while.
But you've done it?
I have done it, yeah.
I've never done that with my brother, so to me it was kind of weird.
Brother, it's a sibling.
It was weird. I was like, people do that?
Like, like I said, not a whole lot late. I mean, lately. But yeah, we went to Target and yeah, just sort of like friends, hang out.
Yeah.
Wow, dang it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I asked him, and he's like, "Yeah, I've been shopping with my sister, like Christmas shopping and stuff." And I'm just like, I don't think I've ever done that, anything like that. So yeah, I was just kind of like, is that normal? But I guess it is.
Brian, I know you know Christine gravitated right towards the baby. I kind of gravitate towards the train and the ghost grim reaper bit. Like that was a really cool like interaction, and you learn quite a bit. One, that not only are there ghosts that are out there to or spirits that are out there eating each other, but there seems to be one that is actually hunting other spirits, whether it's because they've done wrong or whatnot. We don't know. But also we learn that not only are general people not affected by these spirit items, and at least this axe, but even Miko wasn't affected. Brian, what did you think of episode 8 and a couple of those things?
Yeah, the train scene was one of the more intense scenes because, like you said, for a second I thought he was some kind of assassin sent there for her, and that's where my mind went with it. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? And then when we saw what actually he was doing, that opened up a whole other group of questions as to how this spirit world works, what exactly he's doing, because it seemed like he was hunting this thing. The baby scene was a sweet little moment. But of course we got to talk about the ending, because it's we still don't know anything. Even in episode 9 we didn't get a lot, but we do potentially, maybe we're finally setting up some kind of antagonist or something along those lines. So that was a great
Toono or Toono.
I don't know. Just creepy guy.
Toono. I'll look it up. Keep going, bro.
Okay.
Right.
But yeah, that moment when he walked, I completely forgot about that character.
So did she.
And when I saw him, and then I was like, oh, and then I'm thinking, finally, okay, we got something going on. But they're being slow with it because, like I said, even episode 9 doesn't. I mean, it hints at things, but it's slow paced.
Yeah, Zen Toono, I believe is how it was pronounced, because it's Toono. So I'm guessing it's Toono.
Yeah, well, we watched episode 9 first
on accident,
and then it's like, did we miss something here? So for me, I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Like,
no, I knew that part.
I didn't.
I thought it was a labeling issue. That's what I thought.
Yeah. So like then when we saw like, oh, there's an episode 8 that we just didn't see. Watching it, and then they show the flashback. I'm like, oh yeah, that guy. Okay.
I call him scary cat guy because that's the memory that I had connected, because that's what it was when they first met him, and Miko, he sees this just swirling mass of darkness, but she also sees these ghosts staring at him and stuff like that, and the one that tells her, don't look. You were like, was that a warning, and then I was like, or is it one of those jealous type ghosts, because like all the girls in the classroom reacted, ooh, wow, you're so handsome, do you have a girlfriend? I'm wondering if it was a jealous ghost, or like you said, was she warning, like, don't look at what's going on with that guy? Brian, what'd you kind of get out of that?
Yeah, similar. I was curious if it was a warning, because he seems to be consumed or surrounded by, we'll say, evil. That seems to be the thing, and even she feels something wrong. But my question is, do the other spirits fear him? Or because they're around him, but it almost seems like maybe there's a fear of him. And if you have someone like her who can help some spirits and sort of be a positive force, it would make sense that there could potentially be someone that could use this for negativity, for bad things. Like I said, just speculating, but yeah. And he hasn't said much, he just besides the roll call, and I'm just like, yeah, it seems like fine, because we had said that last time. There's no real central antagonist, and now it looks like, well, maybe there will be.
Yeah.
It's cool. Before because we immediately got sucked into Zen here, scary cat guy. Was there any other big parts of episode 8 that you guys did want to talk about? Because I think a big chunk of the journey Miko's on, Miko and her friends are on, and even some of the stuff in that spiritual realm is in episode 9. Was there anything else on 8 you really wanted to touch on specifically? I'm sure we'll touch back to it, but
Yeah, not at the moment. No.
Brian?
No, like I said, the train scene, and there were only like 3 set pieces. I mean, we could briefly touch on, we did get the moment, a continuation of sort of her mom having the little moment with the father, sort of.
Yeah,
father,
that was
yeah.
sweet.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought of something else. This Grim Reaper type guy exorcising this woman, she didn't even feel it. So like we keep seeing in like movies and TV shows, like where someone's being exorcised. It's like, they're struggling, it's painful, but like not even a flinch. So I was like, well, that's interesting. That's nice.
Yeah. That yeah. It like I said, getting to know some of that stuff is really, really cool. I need to go down and help Lucas out with the laptop real quick, but Christine, I'll posit this to you and Brian to start with. Is Zen the opposite of Hana? She exudes golden light and stuff. He's exuding darkness. You guys discuss. Christine, go first.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
I think so. You kind of like see it, like just kind of like creeping out of him, like a bad smell. So it's just like, and it was kind of weird also seeing like the spirits or whatever around him. It was just like really unnerving, and it was also kind of weird how the girls were just like, cooing over him, and it's just like, first off, that's your teacher. That's weird and gross. And then it was like another, like, he looks freaking creepy. So, it's just
the red eyes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which, eyes is the window to the soul, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it you that mentioned that last week, Brian?
I don't.
Or last time?
So I don't remember.
Well, if not, then if we didn't mention it, well, it's been mentioned now.
Yes, that is a common saying.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think I kind of play because we mentioned the eyes when we spoke about the artwork for this series, and how striking the eyes are, and the line work being so bold and great in this anime. Brian he's kind of on the surface the opposite of Hana, right?
Yeah, I also want to. The second he got there, Hana is always
hungry.
She's consuming a lot of food.
Down. She got hungrier.
He was way more hungry when he around him. And so we were thinking that there was a connection between her needing to feed herself for the, I guess, energy to sustain whatever this aura or whatever, she's got going on. And it seems that his presence is perhaps draining that quicker.
Yeah.
And she
possibly
needs to fuel up more.
That's why I wrote it down as like, I said Hana's hungry around him. Well, why? And that's what I was kind of thinking, is that there is some sort of connection between the physical and the spiritual, and that maybe it is draining on her to be around darkness,
and she needs sugary things, so I'm thinking
carbs and
energy.
Almost makes me think of one thing. I don't know if either one of us or any of us thought about the idea of her having some sort of, we think she's exuding this light, but what if she's got a spiritual parasite of her own, a venom, if you will, who needs brains and or chocolate to survive? What if the golden light is something riding inside of her that is not necessarily a bad thing, but does feed off of her as well? I don't know. What do you
and Miko can't see that because she didn't see that the person next to her was possessed. So yeah, you might be right.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's a great
parasite.
That's
possible?
A great theory. Yeah, it would align with what we've seen as far as the rules of how everything works. Perhaps something is in her, and maybe even is helping. Is aware of what's going on and sort of helping the situation.
It could definitely be a positive parasitic, or symbiotic relationship, if you will. It's funny because we're talking about the idea of parasites in our Dragon Reviewed Wheel of Time podcast, which PulpMythos over there, Brian PulpMythos on YouTube, is also covering that with a very different set of premise for his review. So be sure to check out both. I love the haunted house thing that we get to go to here, but before that, wow, the memory issue. I'm not sure if it's just Hana being Hana, or if she really truly doesn't recall Miko being like, no, don't give the cat to Zen, because she's, you know, she mentions that in episode 9. She's like, she doesn't remember. What is that about? And it could just be Hana being Hana. I'm not
Maybe
sure.
It wasn't worth, you know, storing in permanent memory, like where it's like, okay, whatever, you don't want this person to have this cat, and then like maybe does she know? I'm trying to recall with that part. Does she remember the cat at all?
Yeah, she remembers the. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if she remembers the cat.
Yeah,
Brian.
because it was the focus on her
don't
not
know.
remembering.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, you store memories that you think are valuable, and if it's
Right.
like, you know, oh well, this person ain't it. Like,
Hana-
who cares?
Hana does say that he seems familiar, but she
Yeah.
doesn't remember. Some, and I don't remember if they say anything explicit about her not remembering the cat situation. But that's another potential sign that Zen is more than meets the eye. Yes, I said it. I said it, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Now I guess we can kind of touch on and before we get to a quick break from Grow Generation, the haunted house is one of the coolest things we've seen in my opinion in this show, because it's a giant leap forward for Miko. Here she's, you know, worried about all the ghosts and goblins that she sees everywhere, and she's going into a place with fake ghosts and goblins, and it gives her an opportunity to process emotions and feelings that she has had to push down.
Yeah, she gets to express herself.
So much so that the act of being scared for fake and being able to release the real fear through that causes her to smile.
She's having fun.
And I found that to just be such cool imagery. Christine, what'd you think?
I really liked it. Glad that she gets to get it out. It was definitely really cool seeing them, and then of course Yulia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yulia, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah,
Depends on how who's saying it.
yeah. Where she's kind of like, why is she smiling? Like, but because, you know, haunted houses can be fun, but it's like she picks up on it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, you know, like that was kind of cool, like where she's still paying attention, and you know, she's still trying to figure things out. So
Yeah, we'll talk more about it after the break, Brian. But your initial reaction to getting to see Miko, like how I took it, process shit.
Yeah, it was like a therapy session essentially, and like you said, it's the first time we've seen her happy, truly happy, because she was able to enjoy the fact that she could finally sort of confront this being scared, and not have to hide it like she's been doing the entire series. Got a lot more to say, but like you said, we want to take a break because there's an important thing that happens.
there's a couple and things that I definitely want to bring up on it too. So Grow Generation, go ahead and take it away, guys.
Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. For all of your cultivation needs, Grow Generation has the right products, service and staff to make your grow successful. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow.
And thank you guys so much over at Grow Generation, where the pros go to growgeneration.com. Link is down in the description box below, or on our website if you're watching this from the from the freaking page on LRMonline.com. See, I like to work those housekeeping plugs all the way through the episodes here on Genreverse Podcast Network.
job.
I am a pro. The haunted house. Brian said there's a couple of big things that happen. I want to see what big thing he picked. One thing that I did want to mention about Yulia, her imagination still getting away from her, seeing Miko and Hana trying to comfort each other, and deal with, you know, the haunted house, and she's like, oh, is Hana, you know, praying in this glorious light, and Miko's, you know, exercising demons and stuff like that. It still shows that she's this immature in that spiritual world, as well as that scene in the bathroom with finding out she's eating alone. Still shows, you know, the scars and stuff that has kind of caused her to be where she's at. So I'm really enjoying the character of her so far, but I do hope we see an actual step forward for her in the next episode. Otherwise, these little things in episodes 7 and 9, I don't think would be worth it. Brian, you can talk on that or go to your big point if you have nothing to say on that, because Kyle's crazy.
No, that how many episodes is this season going to be?
12.
12. Yeah, we need to get more from. You're right. That at this point, it felt like she was not an antagonist, but, you know, sort of a rival. A better word, I think. And now it's like, yeah, what's the point going to be? Now I'm thinking that they can somehow combine whatever it is they have going on, and that'll help them in the end. But
Ultra Miko.
There you go.
Miko or Yuriko.
But I enjoyed the even the reference to, oh, this is like a Western haunted house. I thought that was cool. You know, where they'll chase you. I guess apparently that's not a thing in Japan. But
we learned something new.
Yeah, that was a cool line. I was like, oh, okay.
Even though they did have that laser tag style Resident Evil haunted house, I would have loved to have done that. Anyways, go ahead.
But if you're getting to the main thing, so, you know, she does encounter an actual ghost spirit, whatever, and it's sort of playing along. It's chasing her, it's doing the whole thing. But when she confronts it and she says stop, it does.
It's the only one that stops.
It listens to her, and that was like, what does that mean? Is this something? I don't know if she realized it or not. It didn't seem like she did. But does she have more power than she realizes? Can she command? Can she persuade these things? And that was something where that seemed like that's what they were possibly setting up.
Yeah. That could be.
I could definitely see that. I thought it was. I saw it at first that there wasn't smoke around, and I guess that's to try to play with the audience as well, or even showing that Hana's own vision could potentially be skewed by the world around her, because she doesn't even notice it's a ghost at first. She thinks it's a guy in a costume, which is why she sees it, and she's like, "Oh crap! No, it is a spirit," because the other two don't see it. Before the big chase, and her telling him, you know, her telling it to leave her alone. I want to read so much into these damn shows sometimes. He was definitely weirder than some of the others, because it had mostly humanoid shape, and the only thing that was really off was the head. You know?
Yeah, it was like wearing a mask.
Yeah, it was like it was wearing a mask. It was a tracksuit and a person in a mask, which is kind of creepy in and of itself, right? Christine, what do you think about the chase and her having an effect, like being able to tell the spirit stop, you know?
Yeah, that was cool, you know. Get a little power for you, girl. And they made it out. And I'm wondering what's going to happen next with this, you know, just how Miko's gonna feel in the next episode. You know, maybe she'll process it as, you know, all of that, not just a fluke. So curious on that.
Yeah, it's great. It's one of those episodes, like I said, that really gives your lead character a huge leap forward, and you would hope you would be getting to her final form by these final, you know, three or four episodes. I don't know what else to say. It's been a really fun trip with this show. The characters are good. None of them are awfully annoying. It does feel like there's this just grander world. I said this there in our first block of episodes covering it, that, man, I would love a spinoff series just watching fucked up shit in the spirit realm, you know? Brian, kind of, wrapping up today's episode, man. How are you feeling about the series in general?
Yeah, like you said, it feels like at this point, and we still got a few more episodes, but it feels like a prolonged prologue. You know what I mean? Like there's so much setup and so much sort of laying the groundwork. It feels like it's all setting up another season, and I don't know. I haven't looked into anything on the show as far as what.
Afraid to get spoiled.
Yeah, as far as what that could look like, but yeah, I've been enjoying it. Like I said, I love the designs. The episodes breeze by pretty quick. There's usually only 2 or 3 set pieces per episode, and yeah, and they've been really good at changing it up. These 2 episodes alone, between the trains situation and the haunted house, those were very different, yet both unique and interesting and different than what the rest of the show has done so far. And we still have the shrine god thing, which hasn't come back in a couple episodes. So
the Guardians. Christine, you're the reason we're here. You still happy you picked it?
Yes, I am. And I'm also curious, like, we keep talking about Hana and how much she eats. Like, a question just popped in my head. How many times does she shit in a day? She eats so damn much. Like, I don't know why. I was like, that just, like, I wonder how many times she goes.
This is not midnight run, Christine. God damn. I don't think I wouldn't be paying attention to that, but yeah,
it's my brain.
I know,
and that's where I go. I get to the dumb questions sometimes in my head, and usually I keep them to myself. But I was like, you know what? I'll share it. It's fine.
Miko does tell her you're gonna get a stomach ache from eating all of that. It's a fun show, and we can't wait to keep it coming. Like I said, guys, next week we will be covering Weathering with You, unless there's some sort of weird thing where Mieruko-Chan drops early. But after that, it looks like the episodes are dropping on Sundays, and Sundays the day we actually release this, so we'll be like 6 days behind, but it'll be all right. You guys will survive. But after that, like I said, guys, make some suggestions for a winner and anime you'd like to see us cover. We're definitely waiting on multiple things, what's Dr. Stone going into season 3, the next iteration of the Gridman universe. Chainsaw Man is coming out, and those are all things that we hope to be covering for you guys episode by episode. Dr. Stone being the only one I'm forcing everyone to wait for dubs. Sorry.
It gives us a chance for everything else.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Anyways, guys, I did a whole bunch of plugs at the beginning. There's the new Wheel of Time review series with Cam, Christine, and I. The Dragon Reviewed that goes up on Monday, and then of course the Daily Cup of Genre, and then at the end of December, we'll be having Cantina reviews going over Book of Boba Fett, and No Mercy picking back up with Cobra Kai. So mine and Christine's social media information down below. Brian does a YouTube channel. I mentioned it earlier. Brian, tell us what's going on over there.
Yeah, the channel's PulpMythos, and do shows like Dexter, Big Sky, and like Kyle had said, Wheel of Time. So check it out.
Indeed. All right, guys. Until next time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Bye.